Hey guys, this is Anastasia Autumnfire, and this video is for week 14 of the YTpaganchallenge. I am finally caught up. Super happy. This week's subject is, what is magic to you, or what does magic mean to you? When I was first looking at this subject, I was super excited because you can go so many ways. You can talk about so many different things. And my mind kind of got flooded. Like, I could talk about my first magical experiences and how they've evolved. I can talk about ritual magic that I've experienced and been a part of. I can talk about, my first experience to kind of observing magic being performed by others, or that sounds weird, but I could go off on so many different tangents. And then I started thinking, I've kind of gone into detail on some of my other videos about things that I do, and traditions that my grandmother has passed down to me. And I feel like there are some things in my practice that I do that are magical, and they are a bit personal. They are things that I kind of want to keep behind closed doors, because it is between me and, hell, or me and Kernunos, or me and Hecate, that are starting things. And I'm so eloquent. I started kind of thinking about, okay, what, at its very base, what does magic mean to me? And that answer was, it's everything. I mean, it is. It is everything. It is in everyone. It is in every animal and plant and particle in the atmosphere. I mean, it is everything. It is everywhere. It's within everyone. Whether they want to accept that and acknowledge it or not is a completely other story. But I mean, someone who believes in magic and accepts it and engages in it can find it everywhere. Someone else who shuts themselves off to that part of life or nature or what have you, they probably won't see that. They probably won't acknowledge that, but the magic is still there. That energy is still present. That force is still a thing, regardless of whether you see it or not, And that thought process kind of got me going. So I decided to kind of approach it from a different angle. I started to think of it as, what at its base is the most important part of magic for me. And again, it's for me. It's not for anyone else. My thoughts are no one else's. If you agree with them and they resonate with you, awesome. So happy. If nothing else, it makes me feel like I'm not a crazy person. And if they don't resonate with you, okay, no problem. There's nothing wrong with that. We just have different takes on things. Never anything wrong with that. But at its base for me, magic is connection. Magic connects me to, again, everything and everyone. It is all around us. It connects me to nature. It connects me to the universe. It connects me to my family and friends, past, present, and future. It connects me to, animals and celestial bodies and seasons and the divine. It connects us to the elements, to the god, the goddess, to our individual deities that we may work with, to our spirits of our ancestors, to spirits in general, to the good folk, to the fae. It connects us to our inner selves. When all is said and done, at the very least, what magic does is it connects us to something within us that is so ancient and so old that I think many people have lost sight of it. I think it connects us to our inner beings, to past lives we've lived that we forget, and once in a while it kind of hits us in the face and we have those moments of deja vu. I think that there's a bit of magic in that. If we look at things scientifically, there are parts of the brain that go unused, that go unaccessed. Who's to say magic isn't us accessing those parts of the brain that are usually not touched, that are usually kind of go stagnant and stale? And I truly believe one person's magic is another person's science, or one person's technology is another person's magic. I mean, in ancient times, people saw the sunrise and the sunset, and then the moon come up, and then the moon set, and then the sun come back up, and it was, oh, well, these are, gods and goddesses riding chariots across the sky, and one has to follow the other, or they're hunting things, or they're on a race to, try to beat off Fenrir, or some such thing. And the reality of it is now we can, well, I shouldn't say the reality of it. Science has since proven, no, there is an actual, celestial body out there that comes up and then it goes back down. Well, it really doesn't. We revolve, and this is what happens. We have the scientific reasoning behind things, but in the same breath, you can't look at the moon at night and not feel that energy. You can't look at the moon and not feel that connection. There's that saying, I see the moon and she sees me. That is so true. You feel that when you look at the moon. You know the goddess is looking upon you. My little girl, love her dearly. She sees the moon every time she sees the moon. Hi, moon. And she absolutely adores the moon. And I know most kids do. But I think there's a magic in that. And the sun, I mean, granted, I might not stare at the sun because, I already have glasses. I don't need to go blind. But I can feel the energy of the sun. I know what it is. I understand it is a star and it's burning and all of this stuff. I understand the scientific reasoning behind things, but I feel connected to it. And that connection can't be scientifically proven. It is magic. And that's what it is. It is what connects me to something that is so meaningful and deep within me that I don't think it can be explained away. I do desperately try to logic things away. It's a fault of mine, actually, or I do it to a fault. I like to make sure that what I'm experiencing at all times is real. And a lot of times I have trouble just accepting, no, this is magic. It is the most natural occurring thing because it is a natural thing. It is just what it is. It's energy. It's out there. It's accessible for anyone and everyone that wants to take part in it. And some people do and some people don't. And there's nothing wrong with either side of it. I understand, and there are preconceived notions about people that say they believe in magic, and maybe it's a little hippy-dippy, loopy, whatever, but I've been a person who didn't believe in magic. And life was fine. I was happy. It was good. But I did not feel connected. My life without magic means I am at a disconnect. And I still, from time to time, go through periods of disconnect. And it throws me, dude. It is not a good thing. Sorry, my hand's moving. It hurts a little bit. But I do. I have those moments of disconnect when things aren't clicking and I don't feel Carnunos, or I don't feel hell, or I don't, sometimes I feel Hecate, and I'm not entirely sure what that's about because we're still kind of working out kinks here and there. We're learning about each other. And I realize in saying that, it sounds, Fruit Loopy. But for me, it is very real, and it is very much a thing. And when I don't feel their presence, I start to get nervous. When I walk outside and I feel nothing, when I feel no energy, when I feel no oomph, I feel completely and utterly disconnected. And that's when I feel no magic. And I don't think magic is only, well, it is in nature. I don't doubt that for a second. But it's not just going out in nature. It's within our relationships with each other as well. Probably the most profound thing I could ever comment on is our connection to our children. I'm a mom, so I connect very much to that. The first time I held my daughter, there's something there that isn't there otherwise. And it's not just your own child, because, you know, when Lily sees her auntie or uncle or friends of ours that she's really close with, when she gets to play with, you know, her auntie Kristen and her uncle Alden, she lights up. There is this, and so do they. There is this connection between them. And there's a magic in that. And it's also not, I do want to say this as well, it's not strictly moms and daughters either, or moms and sons. It's not just a maternal thing. I have seen it in fathers. I will say, even not seeing it, my own father, and he and I, we struggle. We butt heads. We're very much the same person in a lot of ways. But he told me, you know, when he held me, he knew instantly. And he had this connection. And he has said, you know, I believe he considers himself an atheist or agnostic. But he said only a few times in his life can he say he felt magic. And so he knows it's a thing. And holding me was one of those times. So regardless of whatever issue we have, now he's gone and said that, so we're always kosher with each other now. No, I'm kidding. But my grandfather, my mother is adopted within the family. And so my grandfather was her biological uncle, I believe is how that went. And the first time he held her, he even said he felt that connection. He felt magic. And my grandfather, there are sometimes I'll do videos, or sometimes I'll be making something and I'll say something silly like, ooh, I just love the energy of that. And I feel him just kind of go, oh gosh, Anna, you don't need to sound so crazy. I just know. So that is the kind of man my grandfather was. And he even admitted there is this connection. There is this magic. When you love something, anything, this earth, each other, you know, a food can be magical. I mean, it really is about what we connect with, what we resonate with. When I'm talking about, you know, if something resonates with you, go for it. That's what I'm talking about. What you connect with, that's magic. And it's so insanely cool when it happens. It's incredible. I get amped just thinking about it. You know, when you hear something and it suddenly clicks for you and you go, holy cow, I never thought of it that way. That's magic. You know, at least for me it is. That connection, that spark, that's what it's all about. So yeah, week 14 YouTube Pagan Challenge. What is magic for me? It is connection. Constant, undying connection. So yeah. I'm going to leave it on that. Thank you guys for sticking it out with me and watching this bad boy. Please like, subscribe, all that fun jazz, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday or Woden's Day. Bye, guys.